And when I say for emergencies, I mean like emergencies. Like I'm not touching that unless I'm like hospitalized or gonna be homeless. Hi cuties! Welcome back to my channel. My name's Ella, if you don't know, and as you can see, we're in a different location. I am house sitting for the entirety of this week, so I'm in a house that is not mine, obviously. And I need to address the other elephant in the room, which is that I have not been on here for a hot minute. Yeah, long story short, bad job, depression. Yeah, didn't feel like it. But I'm back now, and today I wanted to talk about budgeting. I think I like teased this 2 videos ago, and I wanted to tell y'all how I budget and give y'all advice for budgeting as like teens and going into college. This is the system I've been using for about 2 years and it works great for me. Before I get into like budgeting, like mainly, I want to talk about savings and savings accounts. So y'all get your money in a high yield savings account, which you can like look it up, but it's basically an account that will give you 3 or 4%. I think is like the average interest on your investments, as opposed to like 0.2% interest or whatever you'd get at a regular bank. And then in terms of money in savings, I've had an amount in my savings account since I opened that account. Like I just made the flat deposit of like how much money I wanted to put into savings, which was about half of what was in my bank account. And I set that all aside in my high yield savings account. And that's for emergencies. And when I say for emergencies, I mean like emergencies. Like I'm not touching that unless I'm like hospitalized or gonna be homeless. And I try to add to that at least once a month. So like if I get a big paycheck, I'll put anywhere from like a quarter to half, depending on like how much the paycheck is, into savings. This amount is obviously going to vary depending on your financial situation and your needs, but I'd say one, opening a high yield savings account, I don't care what you do with it, and then also having a savings account, like even if you can't contribute to it super frequently, you have just like a set amount of money put away. I would say like $500 minimum. So I pulled that number out of my ass. They say to do 3 months of your expenses in savings, but if you're a teen with your expenses paid, then I would say start with 500. Like I don't know, do what you can, which is obviously a very like privileged amount and not everyone can do that, but I'd say just in case like anything comes up, having like that amount of money put aside. And I'm saying that like with the assumption that y'all are like me, meaning like you're young and you're also in a situation to have like help from your parents with like more major emergencies, because I don't plan on touching that until I'm like 30, like dead ass. Like that's just my saving money to have, and whatever amount y'all can do that to as well, I'd say do it. And then moving on to my main budget, like my regular bank account, I use YNAB to organize my budget, which you do pay for, as I mentioned in my summer bucket list video. I don't pay for it, my mom does, but it's $15 a month or $109 for the year. And then if you're in college, you can also get a year for free. So if y'all already have a budgeting system worked out for you, just stick to that. I would say if you don't, then like YNAB would be a great place to start. And I would say I'd do the 30-day free trial or 34-day or whatever the fuck free trial, or if you're a college student, try like your year for free, because I think it's super helpful. So the way YNAB works is you make like different categories and then like subcategories of that. So I'm gonna go through what all my categories and stuff are, but first I wanted to talk just like a little bit more about saving, because on top of my high yield savings account, I also have like saving put aside in my regular bank account that I like have accounted for in my budget, because I'm saving for a car. So I have that like accounted for in my budget, and I decided not to put this in my high yield savings account because I want to be able to access it, one, when I buy a car, fingers crossed, And then also, if not that, then just like backup emergencies, kind of. But like that's money that's more accessible than my like savings, which is like on lock as far as I'm concerned. I have money put aside to save in that. I try to, every time I get a paycheck or get paid or anything, put like some amount of money, even if it's not a lot, towards my car savings. So I'm gonna go over the categories that I personally have. Again, as someone who, like, most of the things I need are covered by my parents. And then also just obviously your categories might be different because y'all like want and need different things. So my categories are as follows. So first I have video equipment. So that's stuff like I'm saving up to get a real camera because I'm sure you could tell I film on my phone, paying for like the editing software I use, getting SSD storage, like storage extension. The way I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to tech is like sad. So that's that for videos. Then I have education, which is just payments I need to make to college. And for me, that's more like little, like not like my big like whole tuition thing. That's more so just like if I need like textbooks and stuff like that. Then I have entertainment. The sections I have in there are concerts, books, music, games, movies, and Netflix. And okay, my thing with Netflix, I will get it for a month and then cancel immediately after because I don't want to pay like over. Yeah. Netflix usage is weird. Then I have other. This is just for like any random expenses that might come up. And then I also have a section for money I set aside for taxes because some of the places I've worked don't take money out directly. So I have to pay taxes instead of having them paid for me and need to be saving for that. Then I have the giving, and the categories I have there are like gifts and charity. I have subscriptions. That's just my phone bill because again, like streaming services, I don't subscribe to any consistently enough. And then also my iCloud is in there because I have iCloud Plus because I don't want to leave my photos. Then we have food. This is just two categories depending where I get it from, if I get it from a store or from a restaurant. Then I have style, which the subcategories for that are nails, clothes, hair, skincare, and makeup. And then I have transportation, and as well as having my car savings in this category. I have money for Ubers because I Uber literally everywhere. Money for the bus, which I get a free bus pass as a student, but there's some like lines we can't use it on. So yeah, money set aside for that. And then money for gas if I like drive a lot and for like I need to pay my mother, which I haven't yet. Love you, mommy. I've never called her mommy before. I'm probably gonna cut this out. And it's like important to note that some of these categories I don't even have money in now and like never have. Like music, I think I bought like one song off of Apple Music for my ringtone once, and then that's it, and it's gonna stay like that. However, I have it there because I know that's a purchase I've made in the past, that's a purchase I could make in the future, so that's just something I want to be accounting for. The way YNAB works and the way that I think is just helpful to budget generally is that you assign an amount of money to each of your like subcategories every month. So like I'd say the first of the month you try to figure out like how much you think you'll need for certain expenses and how that like relates to what's in your bank account now, and then dividing that all up, again excluding or not including anything you're saving for. And then the way I do it is I just do that with my current funds, and then when I get a paycheck or something, I'll incorporate that and spread that into either categories where I've spent more or categories where I like plan to spend more. I'm really bad at this, but it's like important, I would say, to not spend money not assigned until you have the money. Like if you know like, oh, I'm getting paid next Friday, buy the thing next Friday, like assuming it's not urgent. And then whenever you buy something, you like enter what you've paid in a certain subcategory and it takes the money out of what's available, and then you know how much you have left for the month. That's pretty self-explanatory. I would recommend getting something you can do on a mobile app because then that way you can take out whatever you've spent like as you spend it, and it's just easier to keep track of. And then what I like to do, I do it on Sundays, but you can kind of do it whenever, is once a week I'll go through assigning any new money I've acquired, taking out any expenses that I didn't already account for, and then kind of reprioritizing and just seeing how much I have available for each category so I know how to spend accordingly in an upcoming week. And then yeah, that's how I keep track of my budget and maybe how you can keep track of yours. I know this is like the least fun video ever, but I do think it's like helpful, hopefully, and important. Comment below if you want more like advice type videos like this, and until next time, bye cuties! Now you're the one.